everybody. This is Vanessa from Gruesome Mag, and I am here with my favorite person, Mr. Doc Rotten. How you doing, Doc?
Doing good. Let's talk movies.
Yes, let's. I'm very excited. Going to hear a little bit about Justice League.
Yes.
Tell me about it, Doc.
Yes, another horror classic here this week on Gruesome Mag. Yeah, Justice League. It is, as you know, it is the latest in the DC universe, cinematic universe, more directly following Batman versus Superman. In between that movie and this one, we also got the Wonder Woman film, which did really well, and Suicide Squad, which financially did well, critically not so much.
Yeah, maybe not so much that
one. But we have our heroes, Wonder Woman and Batman, and they realize there is a threat attacking the planet in the form of Steppenwolf. And he has these 3 boxes that if he puts together will basically recreate the world in his image. That's the basic run of it. But what is happening here to form the Justice League, Batman and Wonder Woman have located a number of other heroes that we got a hint of in Batman vs. Superman, the Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, and they gather them up to defeat the villain, in this case, Steppenwolf. Of course, all this is under the world without Superman, because Superman has died in the previous movie, and that has affected and is driving a good portion of the film.
Right. We're without Superman at this point. I'm curious to know, compared to the comics or maybe cartoons, how do these superheroes look all together on the big screen?
Well, they definitely make a very charismatic group. That's what this film has going for it. And, if Wonder Woman, of course, is already a big hit, and she continues that stride here. She is yet again the best part of the film. Batfleck is I personally like Ben Affleck as Batman, so do
I.
Yeah.
I mean, I dig Ben Affleck as Batfleck. I dig it.
Yeah. So the other 3, you got Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Arthur Curry, right? You have Ezra Miller as the Flash. And as Cyborg, we have Ray Fisher. Now, these are the unknown quantities, right? We've seen the rest of them. And I will reveal they all do wonderfully well. Each one actually shines in their role. Jason Momoa has that swagger that you need. He's not the Aquaman that you see in the comics. This one is more like what he did on Game of Thrones. Kind of throws that into the mix. Ezra Miller is a far different Barry Allen or the Flash. He's much different than he is on even on the TV show. And of course, Cyborg is probably fairly new for a lot of moviegoers as well, but he does great. He probably got the less of the presentation in the trailers. They didn't concentrate on him as much because he had the most special effects, so that kind of makes sense in that respect.
Yeah.
But he is pivotal to the plot and also works really well in the story. On the other side of things...
Yes, this is the side I want to hear.
Yeah, unfortunately, superhero films suffer from villainitis. They have trouble giving us a good villain. Steppenwolf is a step in the right direction, no pun intended, but still has that same problem. Almost has the blue beam in the sky syndrome. His motivation is questionable. But I enjoyed him on the screen, and he was a part of the battles. He wasn't in the background while all his minions fought. He was actually in there, and they were actually fighting him. So in that respect, it was well done. And the fight choreography with what is basically a CGI giant, worked well. So it has. The movie has promise. It is basically it is definitely a step in the right direction for the DC universe, cinematic universe, and it doesn't suck, but it's not. It's hard to, but at the same time, it's hard to say it's a great film. I don't even know if I'm interested in, eager to go out of my way to see it again. I'll watch it again for certain, but I don't necessarily want to dive back into the theater like I do with many other films.
That's pretty telling to to say that. And it's unfortunate because DC seems to be, I thought they were going to do much better because I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. So I had a lot of hope for Justice League, but
Wonder Woman is still the superior film. Still the superior
okay.
film. But there is, I will say, that Jason Momoa has the funniest scene in the film. And I'll go ahead and say that's my favorite scene. There is, I can't even give it away, but there is a really, ends up being a very funny scene that involves him. And that's my favorite moment. I can't say more.
All right. I can understand that. I don't like to give too much away either. So, Doc, if you had to give it a rating, 1 to 5, where would you put Justice League?
I am going to put it right at 3.5. So
3.5. That's decent.
So it's not, it's on the upper scale of DC films. I think there's plenty. Well, what you like is Justice League. The chemistry between the Justice Leaguers is well worth the price of admission alone. I will say that. I will also add, as we end here, much like the films do, both stingers. There are 2 stingers, at least I got at the press screening, that are very steeped in comic fandom, but are also very much a fan-pleasing stinger, even if you don't know the background on them. Really good stuff.
Okay, so things to look forward still.
Absolutely.
So, all right, hopeful review. I'll put it that way. All right, Doc, well, thanks for telling us about Justice League. Let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Be sure to visit GruesomeMagazine.com to listen to the other Gruesome podcasts, Hard News Radio, and Decades of Horror. Also check out the Gruesome Magazine Quarterly, available in digital and print-on-demand format.